When a little girl in a wheelchair asked to meet the most dangerous dog in the shelter, everyone froze. The staff warned her over and over again, "Sweetheart, please stay away from that one." But she didn't listen. As she rolled her wheelchair closer to the heavy metal kennel, the room fell silent. Everyone braced for the worst. But what happened next, no one could have predicted. Instead of lunging or snarling, the bulldog did something that left every person in tears. His name was Titan, a broad, scarred bulldog with a chest like stone and eyes the color of faded amber. He had been at the shelter longer than any other dog. Every visitor passed him by. On his kennel card, written in red marker, were the words, "Aggressive. Use extreme caution." No one dared to go near him anymore. But this story would change everything. Every morning, the volunteers approached Titan's kennel with dread. He'd stand stiff, teeth bared, muscles trembling under his rough fur. It didn't matter how soft their voices were or what treats they offered. Titan never relaxed. "Poor boy's too far gone," one staff member whispered while sliding his food bowl inside. "Some dogs, they just don't come back." No one really knew what had happened to him. He'd been found wandering near the edge of town, starved, filthy, with an old rope still digging into his neck. He'd growled the entire ride back in the truck, and since then, no one had ever seen his tail wag. He paced for hours, day after day, like a soul trapped in his own pain. And when night fell, his low, aching howls echoed through the halls, haunting everyone who heard them. Most had given up hope that Titan would ever change. But one afternoon, the bell over the shelter's door jingled, and Mia arrived. She was small, gentle and quiet, her long brown hair tied with the pink ribbon that matched the rims of her wheelchair. Her mother wheeled her inside carefully. "You sure about this, honey?" she asked softly. Mia nodded. "I just want to see the dogs." The receptionist smiled politely, though her eyes flicked nervously toward the last kennel at the end of the hall, Titan's cage, half hidden in shadow. The volunteers opened doors for the friendly dogs first. A golden retriever wagged his tail so hard his whole body shook. A beagle stood on its hind legs to lick Mia's fingers. She giggled softly, but her eyes kept drifting down the aisle, to the dark cage at the very end. When they reached it, the manager stepped forward quickly. "Sweetheart, maybe we skip this one," she said gently but firmly. "He doesn't do well with strangers." From inside, a deep growl rumbled through the bars, low and warning. Mia tilted her head, listening closely. She didn't see a monster. She heard sadness. "I want to meet him," she whispered. Her mother froze. "Mia, please." But there was something in Mia's voice, calm, steady, sure. The room fell silent as her mother slowly pushed the wheelchair closer. Titan's body tensed, his eyes locked on the spinning wheels of the chair. His growl deepened. "Easy," Mia whispered. No one knew if she was speaking to him or to herself. Her mother's heart pounded. "Sweetie, maybe we should—" "No," Mia said softly but firmly. "He's not angry. He's just scared." No one dared to interrupt. Mia took a slow breath and began to speak. "Hi, my name is Mia. I know you don't really want me here." Titan's ears twitched. His growl faded into a small, uncertain whine. Mia smiled faintly. "When I got hurt, I thought I'd never be happy again." Her voice trembled, but her eyes never looked away. For the first time, Titan stopped pacing. He lowered his head to the cold floor. His shoulders softened. His breathing slowed. The staff stared in disbelief. No one had ever seen Titan calm before, not once. But somehow, this little girl's voice had reached him. Mia lifted her hand slowly, her mother holding her breath. Her fingers brushed the cold steel bars. Titan's eyes looked, following her hand carefully. "It's okay," she whispered. "I'm not here to hurt you." At first, he stepped back. And then, with cautious, trembling steps, Titan moved forward. His nose brushed her fingertips. Mia gasped softly. She turned her palm upward and waited. Titan pressed his heavy muzzle against her small hand inside, a deep, heavy sigh, as if releasing all the pain he'd carried. The room went still. A volunteer covered her mouth to stop herself from crying. The manager blinked away tears. Mia stroked Titan's cheek gently, her fingers running over the rough patches of scarred fur. "You're not a bad dog. You're just sad." When Titan opened his eyes again, they were different, softer, full of something almost like hope. Mia smiled through tears. "Come here." And then, for the first time since he had arrived at the shelter, Titan crawled forward. He lowered his massive head into the crook of her arm and stayed there. The entire shelter seemed to exhale at once. Volunteers exchanged glances, eyes wet, hearts full. Mia's mother dropped to her knees beside her, hand trembling against her chest. She hadn't seen her daughter smile like that since the accident. Small, gentle, but real. Titan trembled as he leaned into her, the fear melting away with every breath. The growling, pacing beast was gone. In his place was a dog who finally felt safe again. "He's never let anyone touch him before," one volunteer whispered, stunned. Mia rested her cheek against Titan's head, her tears soaking into his fur. "You were waiting for someone to love you, and I was waiting too." Titan let out a deep, contented sigh and closed his eyes. That afternoon, when Mia's mom signed the adoption papers, no one said a word about danger or caution. They all just knew something beautiful had happened. Weeks later, Titan walked proudly beside Mia's wheelchair, matching her slow pace down the street. Neighbors stopped to watch, eyes glistening with tears. In that small town, everyone agreed the day Titan met Mia was the day they both came back to life. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because sometimes love doesn't need words. It just needs one brave soul willing to see the good inside another. Stay tuned for more stories that prove love really can change everything.